And welcome back to What If. We're on part 7 of What If Sakura was a Senju. Now, it's been a little while since I've done this. Because the internet got knocked out on, I think it was like Tuesday it got knocked out, and was knocked out for like 3 days straight. Turned out a very simple fix that we felt stupid about not realizing. Because that happened, I didn't get around to doing the what if, so I just bumped both the what ifs for today. So we're continuing off at last time on the Naruto what if. What if Sakura was Haruto was a Senju? The Sound Four had come to address Sasuke about an offer that they think he can't refuse. But Sasuke's refusing to do the movie voice guy. So yes, most of the time in a scenario where Sasuke does not have the influence of the curse mark, though he's able to think he's had better time to form bonds with individuals, I do believe he goes instead to goes to the Hokage saying, "This happened. We just had these guys in the village and they wanted me to come to Orochimaru." He goes to Hokage, so it's like, "What are we going to do?" So he goes, explains this to them, to Tsunade and Shizune and who else is there, and they basically have to figure out what they're going to do. I mean, you obviously you're going to be refusing, but how can we this is an opportunity for us to take them out. And they'll know, if you don't show up, they'll know that you basically just went to us and didn't go. So we're going to have to figure out a way to lure them in. You would think that Tsunade would be like, okay, well, just don't go. We'll send some Ambu instead. But that's not the case, because I'm certain they're Orochimaru's elite squad. So they would be able to see through like a simple transformation jutsu, especially if the person doesn't act the right way. So instead, she calls Shikamaru and she calls Haku. I think Haku's going to be available in this scenario. Remember, they're both tuning. They're asking, why did they send some Ambu? They may have like a backup Ambu just in case. But with the village in a weakened state, they need to send the most of their ninja out for the majority of missions. Remember, during the granted they're filler arcs, but during the filler arcs there wasn't a lot of jonin or tuning around. So a lot of the missions were just with Genin team, maybe led by a Chunin, occasionally by a Jonin. So sense for Haku. Now, they're still going to get the original Sasuke retrieval arc team with Choji, Kiba, Neji, and Naruto. However, Haku, Sasuke, and Sakura are both a part of this now. Sakura's available, and she's a Senju, so would release in this scenario. She is a capable ninja, and I think Sakura's going to Sakura's going to enforce the point that she can handle it. She's ready. Basically, in a way to overcome her fears and things along those lines, but also to prove herself to Sasuke-kun and all that crud. So they have to work out a game plan. Now, because there's 2 tuning and 6 Genin, basically you get 2 teams of 4. One team is going to be used to lure them out. The other team is going to be used as the backup. Now, I do think Shikamaru gets Choji. I think he's going to have Kiba. I think he's going to have Neji on their team. They're going to be the team that is utilizing Sasuke. Sasuke is technically going to be with them, but he's actually going to be part of the other team. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. And Haku will have Naruto and Sakura, because they actually have a better, working relationship, because they're the ones that brought Haku in. So I would imagine they would have spent some time together, working together for a little while. And therefore they have just a better repertoire. Plus, Haku being pretty much a hunter, an Ambu without being an Ambu, is perfect for surprise attacks. Is a crack shot with Senbon, so perfect for a surprise attack. Naruto has Shadow Clone Jutsu, has a couple wind jutsu on his belt, and Sakura has the wood release jutsu. So you hide her in some trees. They're a great sneak attack and support team. Whereas the other ones, Shikamaru probably will hide off. They'll be the hide and wait team, even though Naruto will want to be on the front line. And Neji, Kiba, Choji, and Shikamaru will be the initial surprise and attack team. So they plan out their strategy. They're getting ready to go. Sakura briefly says, okay, don't worry, I'm not going to let them take you. He's like, yeah, don't worry, they're not going to take you. No, I'm not going to let them take you. I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove not just to them, not just to you, but to me, that I am worthy of being your teammate. That I'm worthy. And, that gives Sasuke like a little okay, she's finally taking herself a little bit more seriously. He always knew she was powerful just because of her bloodline and her abilities, but her attitude would always kind of irked him on some level. He always had respect for her, but it's now like one of those scenarios that he's actually now saying, he's like, all right, we'll see what you got. So they go, and Sasuke goes, and he says, I see. So you finally decided to join us. And I was like, yeah, I'm decided to join you. This is, and he plays up the whole idea, like beginning of the new chapter, and they go off. They're all within. The teams are in distance of them, so they're never out of sight. So they basically said, now normally we'd give you a pill that will accelerate the second more of the curse seal, but we need it. You don't even have the curse seal on you, so what we're actually going to do is just meet Orochimaru there. They stop for a brief break and stuff like that. Yeah, all right, I understand, but there's just one issue with that. And what issue are you talking? And then all of a sudden, boom, they can't move. Like, what's going on? It's like, I'm not going with you. And then Shikamaru's guy was like, surprise. And then she's like, Choji, go! Human Boulder! And he's like, no! And then basically they have to go automatically have to activate their curse seals. And it's like, they break out of there. However, one of them gets a sunbone. I would actually imagine it'd be Jidambo because he's the biggest one. And I think he's probably got the biggest amount of durability. So I think, one of them immediately just drops. And I think it would be Jidambo because he's just the biggest hothead among them. And he's the biggest target. So Haku just right in the spine. Just, and he's not dead, but he's paralyzed and he drops. Jidambo's there's a sunbone. It's like, what? And then they get out of the way. I'd imagine Sakon and Ugon. They combine stop Choji, but then Neji comes in from behind them. It's like, Joy grants 28 palms. 60 or 30. He's like, you're in my field. And, he goes in for striking Sakon. Now, Neji versus Sakon would be interesting because we know that there's two bodies in one. They can split to avoid damage and block damage, all that, but they both have chakra points. So even if they're both in the same body and they split, chakra points are going to be hit. And they are aware he's a Hyuga, so they have to immediately split. And they split as he's only hit like maybe half the points he was aiming for, but still he got some points. Like, what? Okay. This isn't part of the plan. It's like, you got that right. Bang over bang. Immediately Tayui's got her gold. It's like, oh no, you don't. And then summons the ogres. And then Kinimaru's like, come on, get up, you idiot. And he gets up again. Unfortunately, at that point, they realize that there's wood growing around a couple of their feet and ankles, and Jidambo again just like, oh, come on! He pretty much just goes into full curse state number 2 at this point, just screw this, and then boom, burst through there. And then Naruto, then out of nowhere, Naruto is basically being hurled at him with a Rasengan in his hand. What he basically just says, like, Sakura, throw me. Basically a fastball special with Naruto, but it's a clone Naruto, so it's like, yeah! And then just gets hit right in the face by Naruto with Rasengan, which grinds his face into pulp and into nothing. Just, and then Naruto's basically the clones here, and he's got his Ultra Instinct activated, and Shink, they basically now they don't know there's 2 other people back there, so Naruto's now fighting with the toe-to-toe with like Sakon and Ukon, along with Neji. Kiba and I think Kiba and Shikamaru, or Kiba would probably be going after Kimimaro, and Choji and Shikamaru would probably be aiming at Tayuya to combine. So, because Shikamaru would be the better option to go. Choji would be the better option of the group they have there to fight the giants because he can actually expand and increase his size and strength. So, he's going toe-to-toe with a partial expansion jutsu, actually physically able to stop them somewhat and actually throw them back. Shikamaru then is trying to get her with the shadows, so she's trying to play her music while trying to block, or trying to avoid the shadows, the shadow possession jutsu. Meanwhile, Naruto is able to get in, stabs one of the let's say Ukon. Ukon, while Neji is, pressuring them, they do a Rashomon just to get out of the way. Basically, they have to go around, why would they do a Rashomon? Because they need some sort of diversion. And at that point, one of them has entered the clone Naruto's body, or tries to, but he realizes I can't. It's our bloodline's not working, or the tech's not working, brother. It's like, what? And then Naruto's like, it's a clone. And all of a sudden, the army of Naruto's pop out again per Haku's orders, and they basically just are coming. It's like, surprise, and then just great breakthroughs and just blowing the battlefield away. They all use the distractions. Neji's uses his Byakugan to see through like the dust that would get thrown up through it, and he's able to basically just takes out one of the. I'm gonna say he takes out Sakura. It doesn't matter to me which one he takes out. Meanwhile, Kimimaro is pretty much taking care of Kiba, but because they're in a bit of an open field, he can't use his webs like trees or anything like that to his advantage. So he is at a bit of disadvantage in that sense, but his ultimate overall abilities are able to keep Kiba and Akamaru at bay. At that point, Haku basically just says, all right, so Naruto, you and your clones need to go out there now. You need to go out there now, too. And then Naruto comes in, aids Kiba. So now it's Naruto. The Naruto clone poofs out of existence at that point. Except there's more Narutos on the field. So, but main Naruto and Kiba versus Kimimaro. Shikamaru, plus all the clones are helping each other, helping them out. Shikamaru and Choji versus Tayuya with clone assistance. Neji and think words here. Neji, Sasuke, and Naruto. Naruto are taking on the remaining Sakon. So they're doing what they can. Yeah, I forgot to include Sasuke's in this too, obviously. Push comes to shove, they're going to take. Tayuya gets trapped in a shot clone, and I think Shikamaru will basically do a Chidori against her, and Sasuke does a Chidori against her. They're down to 2 members now. Kidomaru's doing the best he can to keep them at bay. All of a sudden, both him and Sakon, who are the only ones left at this point, are sense Kimimaro there. And Kimimaro suddenly appears behind Haku and Sakura and nearly takes both their heads off. But they have to get out of there. It's like these seems we have a vermin. You're keeping Lord Orochimaru from his goal, from his purpose. I cannot allow that. And now, but unfortunately, during the distraction, that allows Neji to pretty much just 128 palms Sakon. Did I say Sakon or Ukon? I keep even mentally, it's hard to keep track of who I'm letting die in that case. So and he's and he tries to get into Neji before he gets can get possessed. However, Naruto comes and kind of just does that. Naruto, to be fair, Naruto hasn't had to kill many people at this point in his life. Even in the canon, he didn't have to kill that many people at this point in his life. It was something he wasn't mentally accustomed to. I think Naruto would just have to quickly get used to that. So you basically have Kimimaro, who eventually would be just overwhelmed and taken out. And then you have Kimimaro, and then you have Kimimaro pretty much taking on the entirety of them. And they're all saying like, Sasuke, you will come with us, and you will be Lord Orochimaru's vessel. It is a great honor. You do not want to squander such a gift. He wants to take over my body. What the hell is wrong with you? It's like, you cannot understand the joy that would be to be Orochimaru's new vessel, to be immortal forever, passed down eternity. He's just trying to. But I was like, yeah, no. And then Sasuke's like, fire style, and then Naruto's like, great breakthrough. Boom! When they just do an intense flame, like river of flame coming at him, and he just stands there. And while his skin's burned off, his bone armor underneath is just like, so be it. And then grows out bones everywhere, plus doing like, prepare. And then he comes at them, and immediately, like, unfortunately, he takes Kiba and I think Choji down immediately. They don't have the Kiba might have the reflexes, but he's a little too full of himself most of the time. So he would probably be the one who gets, tagged first, along with Choji, who doesn't have the speed to do it. Shikamaru tries to grab him, but Shikamaru's about to get taken out, but then Haku comes. Haku is probably the fastest among them, not including Naruto, with Ultra Instinct and Kyuubi mode. So he comes and just is barely able to block, but he also is getting he gets tagged as well. But he's able to keep going. Obviously, he then starts using ice style. It's like ice style, ice mirrors, crystal ice mirrors. That's what he called it. So, I see the Hoitons, the Hoiton bloodline. Ice Jutsu, a lost art. Much like my own, we are brothers. We are brothers in arms. We shouldn't be fighting. Naruto would welcome such an ability with open arms and an open heart. You should join me. If Sasuke cannot be Orochimaru's vessel, he'd more than welcome yours. So he would keep trying to like put on that whole join us. It's an honor to be someone else's new body. Yeah, right. No, it's not. Meanwhile, Sakura just is tending them. Sasuke tries to tries to go at them, but Neji actually is like, don't. It's you he's after. You can't afford to let him get you. And Sasuke wants to fight, but at the same time he's like, this guy just wasted two of my friends or two of my colleagues like that. Now they're not dead, mind you. They're down for the count right now, but they're not dead. And Haku, who he even acknowledges is at least as strong, if not stronger than him, and that's his ego, but not as bad as Sasuke in the original version. He would be willing to acknowledge a equal or a superior if he had respect for him, which he almost certainly would for Haku. And then Naruto's like, oh my god, we have to do something. And then Shikamaru again is able to hold Kimimaro for a few moments while Haku brings out the crystal ice mirrors, but then he goes into full curse state too, just boom, and then the living dead pulse, like what do you call it, like a dead boneyard or something like that, burial, basically that forest. I can't remember the name of it. That he did after Gaara basically used his sand burial, and then there's just a whole valley of bones. Sakura's using her wood release, and he even says like, "Oh yes, there's you two, so many options to give Lord Orochimaru. I could take you all to him. I could take you all, and it would be a great honor. It'd serve my purpose. I can no longer be his body." He briefly explains that he's got a disease, and it's exasperating his disease. He's coughing up blood at points too. And then Naruto at the last minute, as he's about to try and take out Haku, who's huffing and ready to go, comes in again, just and then basically collides into him. He's got his Fox cloak up. He's got his Ultra Instinct activated. They go toe-to-toe with each other. And something about Kimimaro just pisses Naruto off. This blind loyalty. Something similar to Haku, but in a different way, that he doesn't understand what's good and what's right. He just understands that you were given a purpose, but you don't give a crap about what other people think. You only care about what you want. You don't care about what Lord Orochimaru wants. It's like, that's not... It's like, how dare you speak of... You know me. It's like, he gave me purpose. And for that, I will do anything. You don't care, but you don't care about yourself. You don't care about anyone or you don't care about him. You care about yourself because it gives you joy. And I think that's where Naruto starts to rattle his whole belief system, is that you don't care about him. You care that it makes you happy to care about him. It pleases you to please him. So you're still just as selfish as anyone else. That's not true. He gave me purpose. Like, exactly. He gave you purpose, your purpose, and all you care about is your purpose. And Naruto suddenly is just rattling his cage. He's just you, and then it's like, so it's like, don't tell. So shut up and don't tell me. I'm gonna say, find your own purpose and live for yourself, but don't lie and pretend it's about something and it's not. And they start charging up his Rasengan. Remember, he can do it with two hands. He can't do it with one, but he can do it with two without the aid of a clone. And he's using Foxtrot at this point, and he's getting this big purple ball going, and he's holding it's about this big, and he just holds it there using a Foxtrot on his own. It's like, I'm good. It's like, it's like, you think my resolve. And it's like, and that's why you don't have the resolve to do it, blah, blah, blah. You think my resolve is so weak. Let's see how strong your resolve is. Show me. Naruto Uzumaki. And then Naruto just clashes. Boom. The bone starts to crack and shatter. It is strong enough that it does actually pierce through the Rasengan, which is basically grinding the bone away. And it does kind of start to split Naruto's arm. He's like, yeah! And then he just pumps some more chakra and just tears off Kimimaro's left hand side, which I think it was the left hand side. Right or left, whatever side the bone was on. Tears that away. It's not as bad as how I played it out in another version where this happened, but it's still like, his arm's gone. And he's maybe hollowed out on that side, but it's not as bad as the last time where it was spoiler for another video. I'm not telling you which one, but when they fought another time, basically he was all hollowed out like down here, so he's pretty much no heart or anything like that. It's more like his arm, shoulder, and maybe a little bit of lung and rib cage are gone. But he's like, and Naruto's hand is also kind of split down the middle, but he's holding it there, and allowing the fox chakra to at least keep it in place. And the fox even lets him know, it's like, all right, you can let go of your arm. You can't use that arm for a little bit, but you can let go of it. As long as nothing bad happens, you'll be fine. So Naruto just pulls out a kunai, charging it up, and just like, and they're just looking at each other, staring daggers at each other. Yeah, it's like, you don't understand. How could you? And then Naruto actually explains the whole, the purpose no jutsu, the tak no jutsu, which Kimimaro initially starts to kind of think about. It is too late. It is too late, and no matter what you say, you will not change my mind. Unfortunately for him, he took his eyes off everyone else, and Sasuke just Chidori. It's like, and Sakura at that point also comes in, pins his arms basically, with the wood, basically almost crucifies him. And she just just binds him to a tree. And actually, I'll take that back. Sasuke doesn't come. Sakura comes, grabs him, binds him to a tree, to which Sasuke then comes and just slams him right through the chest with a Chidori. And it's like, I am no one's puppet. I am no one's body but my own, or something like that. The only person using my body is me. And you can tell your boss that in hell. And then just pulls out Orochimaru. And then just hangs there dead. Everyone basically is tired, wiped out, but ultimately they're alive. They go back, they explain what happened. Orochimaru has to take that other guy's body. He's pissed. He heard the sound port and Kimimaro dead, and he didn't get Sasuke. Very upset. So he's just like, ah! And you basically are left with, where do we go now? You pretty much go to the time skip, the 3-year time skip. Naruto would leave with Jiraiya, obviously. Sakura would likely train with Tsunade, but would also probably get training from Yamato, thanks to Kakashi. And Sasuke would probably train under Kakashi for a certain amount of time. Probably be getting a lot of jack-of-all-trade kind of training. So ultimately, yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it off. This was a bit all over the place, but now that we're in a scenario that's very odd now. Given that we have both Haku and Sasuke and Sakura there, and just pretty much everyone, it's a much more different playing field. So we'll see where it goes from here during the 3-year time skip. Till then, though, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superior Magic, What If, anything to do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So there will be another What If later on today. We're actually getting close to closing that What If out, if I'm not mistaken. Where did I leave off on that one? I left off after the attack of pain on the Leaf Village. That's where I left off. So we will see what happens with that. We're actually, yeah, I might only have another 2 videos left for that one. Just to recap, I don't go into the Boruto era of Naruto because I don't watch or read Boruto, and I'm not the little I saw them, I'm not a fan of that character. So, yeah. Until then, though, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.